Jay here for Stretford, Paddock. Manchester United drew again. Well, I say again, half the time we lose. This time we drew with Bournemouth 2-2. With me is the legend that is Andy Tate. Andy, just let's go through this team, right? Because obviously I've spoken to you off camera. Very disappointing result, very disappointing performance. So I just want to sort of start talking through this team. We'll go through it sort of back to front, and you can give me your thoughts on that performance and the performance by the players. Start with the goalkeeper, Andre Onana. What did you make of his performance today?
I thought he had an okay game.
Yeah.
And he cannot be held accountable for what's in front of him with that back four. And I thought, like you say, and it's been previously mentioned, he's been quiet, but he's been playing well, making saves, and he's been contributing. Yeah. So I will give him a bye today, and he was okay. He
did a very good save, didn't he, for Kluivert? I think there was some question marks about. I think the second goal could have maybe been a bit better, but that save from Kluivert, I thought.
Oh yeah,
was very
3-1
good.
at half time. That's it. The game's
I thought that was a very good reaction save. I know it was sort of savable, but I think his reflexes were very good. So I understand your point there. I don't look at the goals we're conceding and the sort of run that we're on and blame Andre Onana for it.
No,
and I think it could have been a lot worse in some of these games.
No.
If it wasn't, I completely agree with you there. Look at the back four. Obviously, a bit of a makeshift one. Dillo, he's having a good season, but he's had a couple of wobbly moments of late. What did you make of him today?
Well, I remember him. He's having a go at the young lad who made the mistake for the first one.
Cambuala when he slipped.
Cambuala when he slipped, and he's having a go. Then the second one is down to you, Dillo. Yeah. You see it. You see him. You know he's got lack of communication. It's about lack of using your brain.
Yeah.
And he's been so accountable in games this season. We've lost out. If you think about Gothenburg and that, Copenhagen, and losing games, and like Chelsea as well, making stupid tackles. So yeah. He was the pits today. Absolutely.
He seems to have there was some ropey ones at the beginning of the season. I thought he had a really good spell, Dillo, but last couple of games there's been a couple of moments where he's not been great, as you pointed out. Cambuala, young kid, shouldn't really be starting for Manchester United if we weren't for all these injuries. That's why he's in the team. Wasn't his day today, was it?
It wasn't his day, and he's just learning. I don't blame the kid for making a mistake. Like I say, a few weeks ago, Kobe, he made a mistake against West Ham and we lost before Christmas. So it's just learning. It's football nature, and it'll help him instead for the future.
Maguire,
sort of a solid performance. He was okay.
I don't think he was to blame for.
I don't think he was to blame. It was a solid performance, and that was it.
But okay. Wan-Bissaka,
bit quiet. Like you say, he got spun and turned, and he could have been, as soon as we equalised, could have been 2-1 straight away. So I would say he was a bit like Dillo. He got turned inside out a few times. And the reflection on the back four does not look good.
On the whole, the whole wasn't great, was it? I do feel a little bit of sympathy towards Wan-Bissaka where he was penalised for tackles that weren't fouls. But I'm with you. On the whole, the back four, you could tell it was disjointed. It wasn't a solid performance as a unit. Kobe Mainoo, one of his quieter games today. He's looked a little bit leggy for me the last couple of games.
Yeah, I think he's tired. I'll blame him. I'm not going to go in on him because the kid is the future, and Kobe Kanobe will proceed into the future, unlike some other players will.
Well, we'll get to, I think, some of those other players. Casemiro.
Oh, mate. It's like an ex-car rental. You lose, you get fed up. Nice model, it does reliable, and it's just like, I'll take you back to the garage and fucking do what you want with it because you don't want it. Not scrap it, but change it for the new model, mate.
So sell it then.
Yeah, ex-rental, just forget it. Get rid now.
It's do you know what it is for me with Casemiro? It's sad to see a player that was once such a good player, and when he in his first season showed us what he could do. At the minute, he just looks. Well, say at the minute, he looks a million miles away from that player.
You've seen the mistakes he was making last week in 10 minutes against against Liverpool, which led up to the equaliser. Yeah, and he was the weak link, and that's why we conceded.
No, I agree. Bruno Fernandes,
the only true 8 out of 10 today, 9 out of 10 who give everything. If it wasn't for him, we won't be absolutely. Like I say, I've been critical of Bruno, but he can hold his head up high with Andre as well. Absolute waste of a space of a player. waste the space of players in front of him who will not respond to criticism or encouragement. And let's say he did all right for me today.
He did, I agree. Obviously got his 2 goals, but I thought he was everywhere. Battled, kept going, and when you want players to show you effort, Bruno Fernandes is your man. Marcus Rashford, another quiet game again. What's going on?
Look in your reflection in the mirror, Rashford, and tell me, do I doubt you? Oh yes, I doubt you. I think everybody's entitled to doubt you.
Yeah.
You get away with murder. You can't be criticised. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. Oh, I'm Marcus Rashford. I get away with murder. Next week, you know what? Drop him for the semi-final.
Drop him for the commentary game.
I would.
It's funny that, because I remember chatting to you I think it was the Galatasaray game, and you said the same thing. You said, like, he needs dropping, and he's never been dropped, has he, really, under Erik ten Hag? I think there's one game maybe, but he's not. It seems like he's constantly picked. Do you think now is the time for this manager to make a decision?
Oh yeah, there's something deeper, and he just gets away with murder. Absolutely, look, the fundamentals. Every footballer in every division, with every team, from amateur to professional, runs, works, tries everything for the teammates. He does fuck all since Christmas.
Since Christmas, you don't...
He's done fuck all, and I'm sick to the back teeth now. Seriously. You want to save your season, Ten Hag? Fuck him off next Sunday.
Who would you drop him for?
I'd try Ahmed. I would try Ahmed. Fuck him off next Sunday. Leave him in the fucking stand. I don't care, reputation aside.
In the stand, you wouldn't even have him on the bench?
Oh, I wouldn't have him in the squad. I am fucking sick to the back teeth of him.
You drop him for the squad?
And if he doesn't make the Euros, that's on him.
So you drop him for the squad for the FA Cup?
Yeah, I would. I'd try something fresh, new and fucking energetic, because he brings fucking energy, Ahmed. You know he can do it.
What did you make of him, Amad Diallo, today?
Just a bit quiet, but he did okay. He did okay.
He's only a kid in there. Like, I know he's not a kid, but he's not had many opportunities. I thought he did all right. Rasmus Hojlund, he's gone off the boil a little bit in terms of his return since that purple patch he had where he was banging him in every week. What did you make of that, Rasmus Hojlund? Because to me, I don't think it's his fault, but I see him down the wings chasing balls, and I don't want to see him now. I want to see him in the middle. Yeah,
well, he's not getting a supply. He's playing out of position. He's a middleman. The team does not play to his advantages. Do not supply him. And he's running into corridors and blind alleys, and he's not getting anything.
Do you think next season, Rasmus Hojlund, if we bring in a striker, do you think Hojlund should be the first choice, or do you think you bring in a first choice?
No, you bring somebody to help him learn and evolve, and that's the way forward. I've seen more from Ivan Toney in 3 or 4 games for Brentford in the last few weeks. Would you
go for Toney?
I would consider him.
I wouldn't mind. I think at the minute,
I really like,
I'm at a player. Point where anyone who can score.
You know what I say? Get a player. Sell what you can for the big gun. Get rid of one. And spend 40. If he's there 30-40 million, get players who want to run, who want to try.
Talking of players who want to try, Alejandro Garnacho always looked like a try. Wasn't happening for him. I don't know, what the full story there was. He's come off a couple of times recently. What did you make of his performance in that first half?
Bit quiet. He did help set up the equaliser, but I was surprised he came off. I would have took off Rashford and kept Diallo and...
Or brought Diallo on for Rashford.
Garnacho with Ahmed, and you got Hojlund. Them three, like say, would have give it a go second half, but I'm not the manager, and I don't know, but it's just a shame. It's frustrating.
One final one. It wasn't like he didn't get much of a game. He got a bit of a cameo. I don't want to go through all the performances by everyone, but I do want to talk about Mason Mount. What did you make of him today? Do you think it was a bit too brief to say anything, or do you want to see more from him when he came on? Do you think he did okay? What do you make of it?
Look, he's coming back slowly, and I'm not going to go in on him. I like him. I really hope he does well. There is a player in there, and he's just like... Maybe he's a consideration for next week as well. So Wembley's a wide pitch, and he does turn up for the big occasions like he did with Chelsea. So
Champions League finally got the assist in it. We just need to see that, something like that for us. Obviously, it won't be the Champions League anytime soon at Manchester United. You can forget about that. Andy, always a pleasure. Go and check out Andy Tate on all your socials. You know where to find him. You know where to find me as well. That's been the legend that is Andy Tate. I'm Jay Moyer. This has been a review of another disappointing night.
You do not need heartbreak next week. You do not need it, believe me.